Happy Tuesday!
My name's Nick.
And my name is Alan.
And welcome
Into the dungeon.
So we find Shrew Shrubberies and their new companion, the falcon, or as he's been christened by Shrew, the pigeon. And we find them inside this courtyard with a number of pillars and a large number of vines erupting from this stone well in the center of the room, where you've just heard some guttural grunts which you've come to recognize as Orcish during your adventures. What is it you guys are doing?
So these grunts that we are hearing, are they grunts of alarm? Is someone shouting because they've heard any commotion?
Best you can decipher from where you are and from the muffled tone of them, because they're not in the room with you. They just seem to be conversing amongst themselves, but it is quite an aggressive speaking, or rather, quite an aggressive sounding language from your experience. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're alarmed, but they are discussing something quite loudly.
Alright, so we are at the top of the stairs currently, yeah?
Yeah, when I say stairs, it was, or rather, I think I mentioned there were steps.
Steps.
So it's just like a couple of small steps.
Right. We want to head on over as quietly as we can to where we are hearing these shouts and these grunts.
Okay, so we're going to do a quick stealth. And by now, if you've made it this far through the adventures, you'll know that it is I, the DM, who rolls for stealth. Keep things nice and tense for our player.
Mm-hmm. And also remember that I think I roll with a disadvantage because I'm poisoned.
Oh yes, thank you for reminding me.
How foolish of me.
Okay, so you guys start to make your way down these steps, trying to be as quiet as you can. It's pretty dark here, just a little bit of moonlight coming through the windows. And as you're sort of looking around and making your way in the direction of these orcish grunts, you're sort of slowly getting closer to these vines that are coming out of the well. And you realize that there's, in fact, a tree engulfed within these vines. And as you're carefully walking towards the other side of this room, Shrew trips on a vine and makes an almighty clatter as he falls into Fabian, sort of half shoving him. He all stumbles as well, tries to catch himself, and there's just this clangor of his sword hitting the ground, of Shrew falling on top of him, and any sort of hope of a silent approach is suddenly quashed.
Alright, so as soon as I realize that we goofed, I want to pick myself up as quick as I can and, quick guys, get behind one of those pillars. And I'm assuming there were pillars, you described there were pillars around?
Yeah, small pillars.
Small pillars?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I should be fine hiding behind a pillar. Maybe Falcon and Fabian will find more of a problem, but me and Fena should be fine. So I say that and I scramble towards the first pillar I find. I'm going to try and keep hidden from where we are hearing the grunts coming from. Keep an eye out to see if I see anything coming.
So as you hide behind that first pillar, and Fena's got no issue hiding behind the pillar either, Fabian and Falcon sort of crouch behind other pillars within this arcade of sorts, and they're sticking out a bit from the pillars. They're quite a bit larger than you guys, but you notice that everything's gone ominously quiet.
Okay, this is one of those things where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because I don't want them to get away, but I don't want to rush to my death either.
So what are you guys doing?
Do I see a door, or do I see exactly where these noises, these orcish voices were coming from?
There are two doors. One which was directly opposite the one that you came in from, and then a second door which is about 15 feet to the right of that one, which is where you were heading before you tripped. And as you were sort of looking around, you also saw that there were 2 other openings on the other side of the room, which once would have held doors, which have long since rotten away.
And would I know where the sound was coming from, which door it was coming from?
Yeah, from the second door. The one 15 feet to the right of the door that's directly in front of you guys now as you're hiding behind the pillars.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to run up to the door. I want to throw it open, kick it open, or pull it open or whatever it is. Just try and open it as fast as I can. And inside that room, cast my moonbeam. Like just where the door is, cast my moonbeam. And then run back to the pillar.
So Shrew runs across this courtyard, swings the door open, and as you're readying your spell, you see an orc drop down from the ceiling directly in front of you. And I'm going to need you all to roll initiative.
First, I am going to roll for Shrew.
And that's with disadvantage, yes?
Yes. Okay, so Shrew is a total of 7. I now will roll for Fenna. That's 12 plus 1, 13 for Fenna. And Fabian is a total of 7 plus 1, 8.
Okay, and roll for Falcon as well, please.
That's a 17.
Okay, so 17 plus 2 for Falcon.
Nice.
The pigeon is faster than the Shrew.
Well, they would be, wouldn't they? Shrews are not known for the speed.
Okay, I'm going to roll for the orcs. So I'm just going to write down the order of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So top of the round is Falcon, and all he's seeing at the moment is he's seeing this, you go across, open the door, and he's not really sure what's going on at the moment. So you just hear him call out, "What is it, Shrew?" And he's sort of cautiously peeking from behind the pillar, but he sees that you've kind of frozen there as you've sort of swung the door open, and he's not seeing this orc that's just dropped down in front of you. So he's going to hold his action. So incidentally, it's now the turn of the orc that's just dropped down from the ceiling in front of you, and he's going to charge towards this halfling that he's seeing in the doorway.
Oh no. Here we go.
Poisoned was you've got disadvantage, not that they've got advantage on you.
Believe so. I had disadvantage on attack rolls and... Was it saving throws or ability checks?
Ability checks and attacks.
Rolls.
So 19 to hit.
Oh, that hits all day.
That hits all day. Yeah, so as he's dropped down, seeing this halfling in the doorway, runs towards you, taking advantage of your surprise having swung the door open. He slashes at you with his great axe right across the chest, inflicting 14 slashing damage.
What?
We have started with a bang.
What has this orc had for breakfast?
Certainly more than a sausage.
Oh, I'm almost done. Okay.
It's over to Fenna. Shrew! She's just seen you sort of take a step back, and she's seen sort of blood gushing out from your chest as this great axe has just appeared from the doorway.
Fenna is gonna run up to me and try and heal me some.
So she's doing cure wounds?
Yeah, that's right. Some good cure wounds, because I really, really need it.
Okay, so roll for the cure wounds.
That's a 5 plus 2, 7.
Okay, is Fenna staying where she is, or is she moving back?
She's moving back to the pillar, probably, yeah. So she's running all the way back to where she came from and hiding behind that pillar.
Okay, and as she's running back, you hear another thud as you now see a second orc drop down from the ceiling, and he's going to rush, and he's going to take a swipe at Shrew as well. 13 to hit?
Yeah, just hits.
That's a big old 1 on the d12. And that is 4 slashing damage.
Still looking hairy, but I could have been down right there.
Oof. Sadly could have been worse. So over to Fabian.
Okay, Fabian is gonna run up to where I am and try using both hands to slash down on the orc with his sword.
Okay, so roll for attack.
That's 18 plus 4, 22.
Yeah, that certainly hits.
Very good. That's a 3 plus 2, 5.
So the orc takes 5 slashing damage as Fabian rushes across the courtyard and attacks him. Over to Shrew.
Oof, good. I'm gonna do what I was planning on doing when I first opened the door, which was cast the moonbeam right on the orc that's in front of me. And then I want to turn into a bear with my bonus action. This is my second use of the wild shape.
That's correct, yeah. You recently turned into a boar.
Yeah, not too long ago. And I just want to stay there for now.
That means Fabian's going to be pushed ever so slightly back towards the well.
Why is that relevant? Why is the well relevant? What are you trying to say here?
I'm just pointing out for our listeners and also for you that because your bear form is a large creature and not a medium, you occupy a larger sphere of influence. So he's a couple of squares back now.
And the well is directly behind us, yeah?
Yeah, the well with the vines and tree sticking out of it.
Okay, that's a bit disconcerting because it doesn't look very natural to have a tree in here with weird vines coming out of it. But we'll ignore it for now and concentrate on these orcs.
Is Shrew doing anything else?
No, I'm just staying there for now.
Very well. So now in your bear form, hulking over these two orcs, you now see a third orc drop through the ceiling. As he drops down and he sees this hulking bear facing off against two of his companions, he runs to the second door, which is the one that you had initially hidden behind the pillar directly in front of. He swings the door open and sees Fenna half hiding behind this slim pillar, and he's going straight for her. Yeah, that hits. And Fenna takes 9 slashing damage as this great axe comes down on her small form. Shrew! She's looking seriously hurt.
Wow.
So over to Falcon, who's just seen his new companion, this small gnome, take quite a hit from this orc. He's not going to hesitate or waste any time. And he unsheaths his sword, rushes towards the orc, and he's going to launch a flurry of attacks.
Flurry. McFlurry.
So his first attack hits him for 4 slashing damage. A second swing of his sword deals an additional 6 slashing damage. And then he swings the sword round his shoulders and head and comes down on the orc for a third attack.
Whoa.
Which does an additional 12 slashing damage.
Falcon doesn't mess around.
And with that blow, you see from the corner of your eye, you see the blade sort of cut down through the skull of the orc.
Ooh.
And across his face as his head sort of slides off. Half of his face sort of slides off.
Ooh.
And he's down.
You better believe it's down after cutting his face off.
You dared call me a pigeon.
Okay. Point taken.
And with that, it's over to that first orc who's incidentally started his turn in your moonbeam. And he's rolled an 11.
So yeah, he doesn't save, he takes the full damage of my moonbeam. That's 2d10 of sweet damage. That's a total of 12 damage on that orc.
Okay, so you see this orc that has just been dealt damage by Fabian. His eyes are open wide as he sees this small and unassuming halfling turn into this ferocious bear with a equally ferocious red mustache. And suddenly he feels this burning sensation coming all across his body as he collapses into a heap.
Yeah, that's a mustache burning you, boy. The red mustache of fire.
So it's a Fenna.
Fenna is going to step a bit further back onto the other pillar where Falcon was, 2 pillars down, and she's going to cast Cure Wounds on herself.
Yeah, that's her third and final spell slot. So yeah, roll for her HP.
Nice. Final spell made it count. 8 plus 2, I believe. 10.
So yeah, she's back up to full health.
Oof. Good.
Is Fenna doing anything else?
Right now, no. She's just moved 2 pillars down, further away from these brutish orcs, and that's it. She's just gonna stay there.
So from behind Shrew, you hear a grunt, which you recognize as Fabian. As he's caught by surprise, you just hear like a "Ugh!"
Oh, God.
As he takes 4 damage from something that you can't see yet.
Oh, my days. I knew those vines were no good.
And as you hear that grunt, and you sort of hear Fabian, "What the fuck?" And as you glance over your shoulder, you see that he's being grappled by this vine-like creature.
Knew it.
And it's now over to the second orc that's behind you, who's looking a little perplexed, having seen his friend sort of collapse in front of him without the bear actually touching him. So he's going to grab his javelin, and he's going to try and throw this at Shrew, or at Bear Shrew. So as he throws his javelin, it sinks into the fur of Bear Shrew for 6 damage.
Just the fur?
Sinks into his fur. You know what I mean? Stop being facetious. That's 6 damage. And he's going to take a couple of steps back as well after having done that.
Okay. Chicken, are you? Orc?
I see now. Is that a chicken hawk?
Chicken orc.
It's over to Fabian, who's currently grappled by something.
Well, he's going to try and break that grapple, isn't he?
So yeah, roll me an athletics or acrobatics.
That's a 10.
Yeah, plus 2 for his strength as he's trying to wrestle free of this grip. And he just makes it as he manages to pull free. And he turns around and he sees this vine-like creature sort of coming out from the well.
Mm-hmm. Nasty.
And as he's sort of preparing himself to take his action, he sees that there's another 3 of these creatures climbing out of the well.
What? 3 vine creatures climbing out of the well.
In addition to the one that he's just broken free from.
So 3 more he's seen.
Yeah.
4 total.
Total 4.
And as far as we know, there's 1 orc left.
As far as you know, yes. What's Fabian doing?
So he managed to get rid of the grapple. And that's his action, right?
Yeah, that's his action. If he wants to move, he'd only provoke an attack of opportunity from that first one. The others haven't quite made it out of the well yet.
Yeah, he's gonna move. He's gonna move away from that well and get as close to Fenna as possible.
Okay, so there's an attack of opportunity on him.
Bring it on.
Which is a 12 plus 4, 16. And he's not got his shield on. Which, had he been wielding, he would have just dodged. He takes 9 bludgeoning damage.
These vines hit hard, do they?
And as he feels that damage and he's trying to make his way to Fenna, he's been grappled.
Oh no, not again. He's actually grappled.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So yeah, that's Fabian's turn. And as he's sort of taken that hit and he's found himself again entangled in these vines, he's seeing these other creatures emerge from the well, and seeing him entangled in front of him, they're going to also take an attack on him. The first creature misses.
Good.
The second creature actually hits. That's an additional 4 bludgeoning damage. Fabian's looking a little hurt now. And the third of these creatures to emerge from the well, which is now, in fact, the 4th total, misses.
Good.
It's over to Shrew.
So I'm glancing around as I'm trying to make a quick decision. Would I be able to ascertain the layout of what kind of where the vine creatures are placed? How they are placed? Are they all huddled together? Are they?
They're all within 5 feet of each other.
So I'm going to drop my bear form with a bonus action. This might be the end of me, but I am going to run to where Fabian is.
Okay.
I want to position myself in a way that I could hit every creature around me with a 15-foot cube.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Alright, and I want to cast Thunderwave.
I'm assuming you don't want to get Fabian caught in this blast.
If I can opt not to, fine. If I have to get him, he'll have to make the save.
Unfortunately, Fabian's going to get caught in this blast as well.
Well, he's going to have to be agile and avoid it.
Okay, so is this a dexterity saving throw?
No, it's a constitution saving throw.
Okay, that's actually better.
And I'm casting it as a level 2 spell.
Okay. That doesn't affect the save DC though, does it?
No.
So one has rolled an 18, and the other 3 have rolled 10s.
Oh, good. So 3 of them failed.
Fabian as well needs to roll. Oh, Fabian. Fabian.
He didn't save, did he?
10? Does that save?
No.
So no. So what's the damage? And this is a 2nd level spell as well.
Yeah, so I need to roll 3d8.
It was nice knowing you, Fabian.
No, I don't think I'm gonna roll too high, to be honest.
Well, your luck so far may suggest otherwise. So everybody takes damage, including the one that saved?
Yeah, the one that saved takes half damage.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a total of 17 damage.
17 damage?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 of them take 17 damage. 1 will take 8 damage. And poor old Fabian
takes 17.
So you see this blast radiate from within you, this 15-foot cube of thunderous energy. And you see that 3 of these vine creatures take the full brunt of the damage. 1 manages to save and doesn't seem as hurt. And you sort of see Fabian collapse lifeless.
What?
As he's dangling by his legs into the well.
Oh shit, I didn't know
from one of these creatures.
I didn't know he had lost so much HP.
Yeah, I told you he was looking quite hurt. But then again, you've just rolled 17 damage, so that's practically half of his life.
And the creatures, none of them have died.
None of them have died.
Damn.
But 3 of them look quite hurt.
Damn. Oh, damn.
What on earth are you doing, Shrew? You hear Falcon shout from across the courtyard.
That hasn't gone well at all. That's possibly the end. This is possibly the end. All right, so
is Shrew doing anything else? You've used a bonus, you've used an action, and you have
Okay, one thing, those creatures that I actually hit are pushed 10 feet away from me.
Okay. So incidentally, you've also pushed them 10 feet closer to Fenna.
Yeah, to add insult to injury. One of them doesn't. The one that saved it doesn't get pushed through. Okay, so how is it looking now? Like, I have one of these vines right in front of me or 5 feet away from me?
Yeah, that is correct.
Then that's my turn.
So as you're sort of assessing the situation that's unfolded in front of your eyes, this other orc-like creature jumps down as well. And this one looks a little different to the other orcs you've been fighting. He's got long, shaggy black hair. He's got lightning symbols sort of painted across his face in blood. And he's got these almost like tusk-like Wolverine-style gloves and this cloak that seems to have been made from some animal. And he drops down and you can see him assessing what's going on. He sees one of his companions in a heap underneath your moonbeam. He sees his other colleague, the remaining orc, to his side with a javelin in hand. He can't quite see Falcon from where he is. So as he's looking for the door through this moonbeam, he sees one of these vine-like creatures by the well with this human sort of half collapsed into the well, and this small halfling stood next to them. And I'm going to need Shrew to make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage because you're poisoned.
Fuck. You didn't see her. Fucked. Okay, that's a natural 20 and a 16 total.
16 total?
Yep.
So you managed to save.
Yeah, but...
And you'll be grateful for that.
Yeah. No double half damage. I'm dead anyway. Like, I have 9 HP, so...
You'll be glad you you saved that. Full damage would have been 30. So 15 lightning damage as you feel this burst of electrical energy rushing through your body.
Yeah, I'm down.
This half-orc creature sort of steps into the room and he's looking and he sees Falcon. And he turns his gaze directly to him. It's over to Falcon. Falcon, having seen this, he's not wasting any time again. He's going straight for this mofo. He's just seen him down his new friend. He's seen Fabian hanging into this well as well. He's going straight for this big boy. All 3 attacks hit. So yeah, Falcon lunges in with a ferocious flurry of blows, all of which hit, dealing an astonishing 26 slashing damage into this half-orc, who still seems to be standing pretty strong. Over to Fenna, who's currently surrounded by 3 of these vine-like creatures. What's Fenna doing?
She's going to try and take one out at least and hope that any attacks coming from them will miss her. So she's going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay, it's failed.
It failed its saving throw.
Yeah.
That's a total of 4 damage.
Okay, this one's looking seriously hurt now.
Not quite what I needed it to look. I needed it to look dead.
Unfortunately, it's still standing.
Alright.
Fenna doing anything else?
No, she's holding on tight and hoping for the best.
Okay, so it's over to the orc, the last remaining orc. And he steps out from the doorway where Falcon had been and sees Falcon engaged in combat with his new companion that just dropped down and unleashed havoc. And he's going straight for Falcon as well. He's seeing him as the main threat now in this room.
You wouldn't be wrong.
And taking advantage of the fact that he's otherwise preoccupied, he sinks his great axe into his back for 11 damage.
Oof, rough.
So it's over to Fabian, who's going to have to make a death saving throw. Am I doing these for you, or are you doing them?
You're doing them. Don't tell me what they are until they're either dead or they're standing. Oh, well, not standing, but, stabilized.
And it's over to these weird blight-like creatures now. The first of which is going to start moving slowly towards Falcon.
Is this one the one that wasn't engaged with Fenna, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Fenna's now completely surrounded by these other 3 vine-like creatures. We're going to take turns at mauling at her. And by some miracle, all 3 have missed.
Wow. Yeah, it's gonna take a miracle to save us from this.
Over to Shrew. Am I doing your death saving throws as well, or are you doing them?
Actually, something I wanted to try. I wanted to try for the DM to roll them, but it kind of raises a question. If you start rolling poorly and I die, I wouldn't blame you like right out, it was your fault, but then subconsciously maybe I should have rolled, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to roll but not look at the result.
Okay.
So you jot it down yourself. I roll it, you jot it down, but I'm not looking, I'm closing my eyes.
Let's say you're going to be happy. Nat 20.
Are you serious?
Deadly serious.
That's 20. Wow.
So you regain consciousness with the 1 HP.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not dead, but it's not gonna do much.
So yeah, what you were doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna run up to Fabian. And like I'm fumbling through my pockets and I'm looking for a potion of healing and I'm gonna feed it to Fabian.
Okay, so yeah, that's 2d4 plus 2.
So that's 5 plus 2, 7 total.
So you see Fabian sort of dangling into the swell. Suddenly open his eyes, regaining consciousness. What the fuck? Shrew.
Was he still grappled?
No, because the other things had been pushed away.
Okay, so do I have any more movement left?
You use half to get up and another 10 feet to get across, so no.
Then I'm staying there behind the wall.
Very well. Hey, see what I did there?
Yep.
Okay, so this half-orc is gonna lunge with his claw-like gloves, for want of a better word. He's squarely focused on Falcon, which hits.
Oh, come on.
Who takes 4 slashing damage.
4 slashing damage. Oh,
yeah.
Good. It's not too bad.
And with that, it's over to Falcon.
Come on, Falcon, do the business!
So again, he's going to lunge in a flurry of furious blows at this half-orc. His first 2 attacks, the half-orc manages to dodge.
Come on.
And the third one, his blade sort of sinks into the doorframe.
What?
And he's trying to pull it out.
Oh, wow. Falcon, pigeon.
It's over to Fenna.
Fenna is still under threat from those vines. She's going to try and do Sacred Flame on the vine she lost hit again.
So that's a Constitution saving throw, yeah?
Yeah.
It's failed?
It's a 2. It's a 2. I mean, I can't complain. At least I rolled a natural 20 when I most needed it, so I can't complain. I'll take the luck. I probably expended my luck for the next 3 or 4 episodes. But
well, I wouldn't consider that roll too unlucky, as it's enough.
Yes.
To down it.
Nice.
Is Fenna doing anything else?
She's still 5 feet away from one of them, yeah? Or from both now?
From both of them, yeah.
Yeah, no, she's staying put.
The orc behind Falcon is going to take an attack at him again. And as he's swiping and Falcon's trying to dislodge his sword from the doorframe, it's just enough as he's sort of pulling to see the axe swish beside him as he misses. Okay, so it's over to the first of these vine creatures that emerged from the well. He's made his way up to Falcon, who is now surrounded on 3 sides with the wall on the other, so he's looking precarious. And this vine creature in its excitement misses completely.
Good. Come on, Falcon!
Over to Fabian.
Fabian is going to get up.
Okay, so he uses half his movement to get up.
He's 5 feet away from one of those vines, currently.
Yeah, he is. The first mofo that entangled him.
He's going to attack the vine right in front of him. That's a total of 19 to hit.
That certainly hits.
And he's using both hands to grip the sword, so he's rolling a d10. That's a 3 plus 2, 5 total.
Okay, so he's looking a little hurt.
Oh, come on.
I take it he's not doing anything else on this sound?
Actually, he is. He's doing his second wind.
Okay, so yeah, he can regain hit points equal to a d10 plus his level, which is currently level 3.
Okay, that's 5. So plus 3 is 8.
So Fabian's up to 15 hit points now.
Respectable, but he won't save him from a vicious attack.
So it's over to the other 2 vine-like creatures, because Fenna downed one of them. So the first of these vine creatures lunges out at Fenna, narrowly missing.
Good.
The second, though, hits her and entangles her in its vines. As she takes 8 damage, she's down to 10.
Oof, these hit hard. These vines.
Over to Shrew.
Okay, I'm gonna, as a bonus action, take one of my potions.
Okay, so that's 2d4 plus 2.
That's a total of 8 healing.
That's
Shrew.
good. It's a nice one.
It's not bad. Not bad at all, considering.
So yeah, that's your bonus. What are you doing for your action? Are you moving as well, or are you staying put?
I'm moving away from the well. I'm in the direction we came from originally, from the door we came from, but not towards the door. I'm just going towards the wall next to the door.
So the door opposite, not the door opposite, sorry, the opening on the same wall as the door you'd come in from.
Yeah, but not to the opening, just between the opening and the door we came in from, in the middle, next to the wall.
Okay.
And from there, I am going to position myself either a bit further back from where I am, or forwards, however I would need to position myself in order to cast Thunder Wave again, but this time try not to hit any of my allies. I'll be extra careful this time.
Okay, so where you currently are, you can actually cast it without getting any of your allies. This was a Constitution save, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
2 4s, so I'm not even going to bother adding the modifier because I know that fails. Is this as a level 1 or is this a level 2?
This is a level 1. I'm out of level 2 spells, and this would be 2d8. That's a total of 9 damage.
9 total. So yes, this thunderous wave erupts through the courtyard you're in. You see these 2 vine creatures get hurled 10 feet away from you. One of them actually being pushed into the pillar between himself and Fenna, and they both collapse into a heap on the floor.
Yeah! Alright, things are looking a bit better. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 3. Odds are right now in our favor, but we're hurt. We're hurting bad. So any hit to any of us could finish the deal.
And with that, it's over to the half-orc, who's sort of glancing around, seeing that this human that was half in the well is now up and attacking the last remaining vine creature. And he's just heard this thunderous wave and seen that the other 2 vine creatures have now fallen, which makes it 3 out of the 4. And he reaches to his side and pulls up a horn to his mouth and lets out a sharp blast. Over to Falcon.
What does that mean? What does a horn mean? Is it lunchtime?
So 2 of Falcon's swings make contact with this half-orc. And he's looking quite hurt now, as 2 of these sword slashers dig into him. But he's still standing and looking relatively strong. It's over to Fenna. And actually, before you go over to Fenna, can you just roll me a d6, please?
That's a 6.
Okay. I will keep you in suspense as to what that could mean.
Thank you.
What's Fenna doing?
Right, Fenna. How was Fenna looking? Pretty rough as well, yeah?
Yeah, Fenna's down to 10 HP.
Fenna, as always, the selfless soul, is going to run up to Shrew.
Okay.
And seeing that he's just recovered from what seemed to be at least a knockout or temporary knockout, and he's looking in pretty rough shape. She's going to walk up to him or run up to him and walk in for rule's sake, but for story's sake, she's running, she's rushing, and she's gonna give Shrew the potion she has.
So she's gonna feed it to him?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's 2d4 plus 2.
That's an 8 plus 2, 10. So I rolled maximum recovery points there.
Nice. And I take it that's Fenna's turn?
Yeah, that being her action would be her turn, and she's not going to move from there. She's just going to stay there.
Okay, so it's over to the orc that's behind Falcon. This time he does hit, and Falcon takes 5 slashing damage. Falcon looks totally unfazed.
He's a strong man.
It's now over to that last remaining vine creature. So Falcon takes an additional 8 bludgeoning damage as this vine creature takes a swipe at him, and he's now got his leg entangled by this monstrosity. Over to Fabian.
Fabian, seen as this vine creature is now entangled Falcon as well, is going to try and finish it off, slice it apart.
This is with his sword in 2 hands, yeah?
Yep.
With advantage, because this creature's actually flanked.
Awesome. That's 21 total.
Hits.
And that's 8 total of damage.
It's looking seriously hurt now. And it's over to Shrew, assuming that Fabian's not doing anything else.
No, Fabian's staying there. Shrew again is gonna run towards the far side of the room where both those archways without doors were.
Yep.
It's gonna run towards the middle of that far side against the wall. And from there I'm gonna try and cast another thunder wave, trying to not hit any of my allies.
Okay, so you're focusing this on the half-orc, yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna position myself in a way where I only hit the half-orc, which is currently engaged with Falcon.
That's a big old 8.
8 total.
8 total.
Yes, he doesn't save, so 2d8 damage. That's a total of 8.
8 damage, yeah?
Yeah, and he's pushed 10 feet away.
So yeah, he takes 8 damage. He's looking quite hurt now as he sort of bounces into Falcon's frame and then sort of stumbles back, unable to be pushed the full 10 feet away from him. And it's over to him now, assuming you've completed your action, or your turn rather.
Yeah, that's my turn. I'm just going to stay there.
Okay, so this half-orc now is looking pretty hurt. It's just taking almost the full brunt of your... Well, actually, the full brunt here was 1d8. And he's sort of looking around now. You can see a glimmer of fear in his eyes now as he's realizing that the tides have turned in this battle. He lets the horn swing back down to his side. He's going to take a swipe at Falcon, which misses.
Yeah, come on. We've got you now. We've got you now.
And it's over to Falcon. And again, he's going to do his flurry of blows.
Falcon punch!
Okay, so his first attack misses. His second attack hits. And his third attack is a natural 20.
Oh yeah. Falcon, the hero of the day.
First attack only does 3 damage.
We'll take it.
And then that 20, max damage.
Yes.
So that's 24 damage. So as this half-orc had dropped his horn, lunged that attack on Falcon, prompting Falcon to lunge at him again in fury. That first hit sort of just glanced on his shoulder, little nick. But the second one lops his head clean off.
Oh, look at you now. Shaggy hair, boy. Look at you now.
And with that, it's over to Fenna.
So Fenna is gonna go back up to the pillars where she was hiding before.
Okay.
And from there, she's gonna cast Sacred Flame on the vine creature.
It's a grand total of 7.
So he fails, it fails. That's a total of 8.
That does it.
Yeah. Another one down.
Is Fenna doing anything else?
Other than kind of look smug after killing that creature and seemingly turning the tables here. No, she's doing nothing else. She's
I think she's pushing Falcon for MVP of this battle, I think.
Yeah. Utility.
It's now over to that last remaining orc, who's now seeing himself quite outnumbered. Okay, so this orc is going to disengage, and he's going to run back through the door behind him where he had emerged. So yeah, he's turned and run, and he's going back towards the hole that you had seen him drop through. And it's now over to Fabian.
Does Fabian see the orc from where he is currently?
Yeah, he can see him through the open door.
He's going to run towards the orc with his sword above his shoulders. And as he reaches the orc, he's going to slash down using both hands.
Okay, so roll for damage. Roll for attack.
I wish. That's 18 to hit.
Yeah, that will hit. And actually, this orc hasn't taken any damage yet.
That's a total of 5 damage.
Okay, so as Fabian hits him, he's hearing a commotion coming from above him.
Oh no.
As he's hearing a number of footsteps.
Oh no.
Running towards the direction where you currently are.
Oh no.
Okay, so it's now over to Shrew. And as you're determining what action to take, you hear a shout coming from above you, from one of the windows in the upper level. And as you glance over, you see a figure somewhat resembling the half-orc that's just been downed.
Oh my goodness.
And as quickly as you saw him appear in that window, he's gone. But you're now hearing as well, the footsteps coming above you and coming towards the area of the hole that you had seen the orcs drop down from. What you were doing. And actually, whilst all this is going on, I'm going to ask you to give me a nature check.
That's a total of 8.
Sorry, with disadvantage because you're poisoned.
Yes, still an 8.
Okay, so amongst these footsteps that you're hearing, you also hear certain footsteps which don't sound like boots. But in your poisoned and confused state with everything that's going on, you can't quite decipher just yet what this sound is.
Oh, damn.
I'll just clarify as well, whilst you're pondering on your next move, that the sound of these mysterious steps, unlike the heavy boots that are rushing towards what you can sort of decipher as the opening where the other orcs jumped through, is in fact moving away and not towards you.
Okay, so I haven't heard those footsteps make their way into the manse or anything like that. The ones that had some other creature with them.
Well, it was within the manse.
It was within the manse.
Yeah, it's coming from above you.
Right, and I'm hearing it going away.
You heard them going in the opposite direction to where the boots were coming, which best you can sort of ascertain. Those boots were moving towards the general direction of the hole where the other orcs had dropped through. These ones had gone in the opposite direction.
Okay, I'm gonna walk to where Fabian was. As I saw him run into the room, I'm going after him.
Okay. Sorry, where exactly in this room are you?
Just by the door.
Position? Okay.
And from there, I'm gonna cast Entangle. So grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square, starting from a point within range. I've got 90 feet range.
Okay, yeah, so that's well within your range. I take it you're trying to just entangle the orc.
I don't think... Is a room big enough?
What is this, a 20-foot circle or...
20-foot square.
Sorry, 20-foot square. Yeah, you'll be getting Fabian as well.
So yeah, I'm just gonna get everyone.
Okay, so what is that? Is that a dexterity saving throw?
No, so a creature in the area when I cast the spell must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained.
That's 18 plus whatever that saves.
Who's that for?
The orc. And I'm going to do the same for Fabian, yeah?
Yeah.
14 plus whatever. I think 14 is your...
saves as well.
Yeah, so they both save. So these vines obviously have grown there. They've just not entangled him. Does it do anything on a fail?
Well, it's difficult terrain, but it only affects a creature that's there. So if someone were to finish their turn there, for example, it doesn't affect them the same way.
Okay.
But it is difficult terrain.
Very well. So is Shrew doing anything else here?
No, that's my last spell.
Okay, so it's over to Falcon now. I think he's going to make his way in as well to try and see off this last remaining orc who's engaged with Fabian, and he's seeing now these vines all over the floor as well. That's from Shrew's spell. So his first attack hits. I'm going to do this one by one instead of just the full 3 attacks, just in case he does see him off. And yeah, that attack is enough to down the orc. So this orc collapses into a bloody heap now, all over the vines. The footsteps above getting louder towards the hole. So with that, Falcon is going to just stand there ready, waiting for what's coming. Just to clarify, that doesn't mean he's holding his other attacks. It's a multi-attack, so he's used his action, and he's just bracing himself for whatever's going to come through that hole. And it's over to Fenna.
Fenna is going to carry on walking down the corridor past the pillars and into the door that connects to the room where everyone is at currently. And she's just going to stay there and ready Sacred Flame. If she sees anything pop out of those holes, she's going to cast the spell. Okay.
It's now over to Fabian.
Fabian will remain where he is, directly under the hole. Is the hole like in the ceiling? Is it accessible? Are there stairs? A ladder or something?
There's no stairs or rope or anything dangling down. What you can see now that there's no fighting going on in this room is that it appears to have once been a bedchamber, kitchen, dining room, sort of all rolled into one. You see that there's the remains of 4 beds along this southern wall of the building, and against the western wall there are a number of shattered wardrobes, cabinet with its door half hanging off with some dishware and, pots and stuff sort of coming out. Number of chairs around what looks to have once been a dining table, and sort of under the hole where the orcs are jumping through, you can see that there's like rubble and bits of wood, so you could sort of climb up if you needed to.
Nah, he's just gonna stay there, ready his attack to see if the orc drops down. He wants to slice it.
Okay, and with that it's over to Shrew, who's standing in the doorway.
Similarly, I'm going to walking, stand like 5 feet away from the hole on the ceiling.
On the opposite side of the room from the door?
Yeah, 5 feet away from the hole. So if the hole is directly above a certain area, I want to stand 5 feet away from that area. And also ready my attack, which in this case would be a spell. So ready my spell, I suppose my cantrip, which is Poison Spray.
Okay, so you're readying that. What's your trigger?
Again, if I see an orc jump down from that hole, as soon as I see it, I want to spray it.
So Shrew's positioning himself on the other side of this wall now, opposite the doorway that you've come through, and you're sort of holding your action, making those gestures with your hand and preparing the words to cast your poison spray. From where you are at present, you can see across the courtyard and through the vines of the tree that was sort of emerging from this well, you catch just a fleeting glimpse of this boar rushing down the stairs that are through this doorway and just out of sight. And I'm sorry to tease you, but I think that's where we're going to call it a night for today's episode.
In the middle of this fight.
Yeah, we're going full anime here. Gotta tune in next week to see what happens, who's upstairs, and what that boar was that just ran away.
Questions left unanswered. Interesting.
So yeah, quite a tense one even for me behind this this side of the screen.
I always say the same thing. Like I honestly thought we were done for, but I mean, that natural 20, like to save me, like to get me up to my feet with 1 hit point. I don't. If that hadn't happened, I don't think we would have made it, because that then let me save Fabian, heal Fabian, and then we could all attack again. But at that point, it was just Fenna surrounded by three
vine creatures,
vines, if I remember, and Falcon on his own. So it was looking hairy.
Yeah, it was quite hairy, and not only that divine natural 20, which I've got to say, after a week of poor rolls or rather not necessarily a week of poor rolls, but perhaps even arguably a campaign so far of unfortunate rolls, perhaps is a term. And not only in game, but also in real life, following our recent trip to the countryside.
Yeah.
What a time to turn, or rather to have your luck turn around there.
Yeah. But it's not even because I've rolled a few good rolls, but I think the rolls that really matter, I've been rolling poorly.
Yeah.
And that's why it seems so bad. But at least this one, probably that's it. That's my mojo for the rest of the campaign. That natural 20. That's as good as it's gonna get from here on.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to top that. A death saving throw when things were looking hairy, as you say, and which almost quite literally turned the tide of the battle. And not only that natural 20, but that saving throw on that blast of lightning, which could perhaps have killed you outright as well.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. Yeah, that could have taken me out. Yeah.
So yeah, tense. I hope it was enjoyable for you guys, and I apologize to have to leave you on that cliffhanger. But then a part of me doesn't want to apologize, because I think it ups the tension for next week. I'll make sure that you tune in for at least one more episode to see whether Shrew's Shrubberies will make it out of this one. And as always, if you've made it this far into the campaign, we don't need to tell you, but if you somehow just stumbled into this episode and you've enjoyed what you've listened to, don't forget to check us out on www.i2td.com. We've got all our links to our social media pages there. We've got our Discord server as well. There's an invite on our websites. You can join us and join our growing community.
Also remember, we have our Patreon page where you can join there and subscribe to one of the tiers. You've got the Magus, Archmagus, Proto-Magus. All of them have different perks. And just go there, check it out if you're interested in that. It's mostly behind the scenes, sneak peeks, and anything that we might be working on for the future. You might get the first dibs on them. So check it out. If you're so inclined, it would help us tremendously to keep on creating content and create better content as we go forward too. There's also the Buy Me a Coffee, which is more of a kind of place where you go to give a one-off donation. And we recently had our first donation, which is brilliant. Thank you so much, Ian Gonzalez. Thank you so much for that kind donation. And he actually said on his message that he hoped his boy got a potion in game 2. And by his boy, I imagine he's referring to Shrew.
Yeah, and not Fabian.
Yeah. So
gotta specify.
Yeah, you gotta specify. No, but Nick, you owe me a potion in game, and I'm really gonna need it after this episode. So looking forward to how you put that in there.
We'll work it in.
Yeah,
with some narrative as well.
Yeah, we spoke.
Little shout out.
We spoke to Ian a bit, and he was saying that it might be cool if there can be a moment in game where this patron in game appears, or perhaps only by name, and donates something, in this case a potion, to Shrew. And yeah, if you would like for Shrew in game to have something, and you donate something on Buy Me a Coffee, well, we could do the same with your donation. Just on the comment, mention what you'd like Shrew to get. Obviously, don't unbalance the game.
Wait a minute.
The sword of dragon slaying. With one hit of the sword, you defeat any dragon and their offspring. Yeah,
no. It's Buy Me a Coffee / Buy Me a Potion. So
yeah.
We'll stick to potions here.
All right. So,
If there's a particularly generous donation, we may open it up a bit more.
yeah, fair enough. So yeah, you heard it from the GM himself. Keep it to potions, but those are much appreciated anyway. So yeah, if you'd like maybe your name to be featured in the actual episode, maybe we have to, medieval it up a little bit, give it a little fantasy flourish to it, and become a patron in-game as well as outside of game, or a donator in-game as well as outside of the game in real life. Well, head on to Buy Me a Coffee and, hit that yellow button where it says donate a potion, or whatever it says. Anyway, that's enough of that. And on to our next segment, which is called Shine the Torch.
Yeah, and this is the section where we shine the torch on you wary dungeon delvers, you consumers of amazing tabletop RPG content, where we shine the torch, as I've said already, on contents that we think that you would like as well. Further awesome TTRPG content for you. And who are we shining the torch on today, Alan?
Well, today we're shining the torch on how not to DM.
How not to DM. So yeah, are you a DM looking for advice? Or maybe a player who's been wanting to try and run your own games but don't feel ready to start? How not to DM has just the thing for you. Each week, host Derek talks to a new guest DM from around the world about their best and worst memories from behind the screen. Every DM out there, from the most experienced on down, has made mistakes before. I know I've made a few, but these are a valuable part of the learning process. And after you've learned from Derek on some of the more common DM blunders, you can go into your games knowing how to best avoid them or deal with them. And you know what? As an added bonus, each guest gets to show off their skills in a minigame with random rolls and generators. And they also chat about their cool projects, including game design, podcasts, streams, and much, much more. So yeah, search for How Not to DM on your favorite podcast platform, or give them a listen on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll have some links to probably his Linktree on the description of this episode, so you can search for his links there as well. And then that just leaves the moment you've all been waiting for. The last one standing. End of episode club. I think it's called both things now. It's just
it's the end of the episode club, which is called The Last One Standing.
All right. So what do you have shall I explain how this works? Yeah, let's do it quickly. So basically we're going to give you a catchphrase now, then you get said catchphrase and insert it in a comment either in our Discord, on our Discord, Twitter, YouTube, although we also sometimes fail to notice YouTube comments. But yeah, Twitter, Discord, YouTube, or Instagram, because that's where we're more, present. And, make us laugh. Use the password we give you in a witty way. Make us laugh. And we keep on saying we'll have a section on Discord with all these comments, and we're failing to do so.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is do like a reaction episode or a reaction. Actually, it won't work as an episode. It'll have to be a video. Let's do it. Let's do a little reaction video exclusive to our Discord channel. So if you want to see it, get involved on our Discord server. And we'll read out the comments. And the reason why we have to do it as a video, I think, is because some of these witty replies that use the password are actually images and memes. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, you gotta join the Discord. There's no way around it.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
So today's password for you hardy dungeon delvers is Thunderstruck. You've been thunderstruck. Yeah, cut it there. Or don't. Use Thunderstruck in your comments and watch the space as we do a reactions video for Discord. We've now committed ourselves to it, so we have to do it. So without any further ado and without any further rambling, we thank you for surviving this nonsense with your high constitution saving throws, and we hope to see you next time as we delve into the dungeon.